Blighty Boxing with Frank Warren and Queensbury. We've come to check up on Royston Barney Smith.
How do you do?
He's, like as we all know now, he's ready to turn pro in January. So he's now putting in the graft ahead of his 18th birthday.
Definitely.
How you been, Royston?
I've been good, just grinding away, just getting my head down, just get stuck into a bit of training, to be honest with you, Rich. That's it, really.
You had your, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, you kind of had your unveiling or announcement of your intentions to turn professional at the Landmark Hotel in London. Yeah. What's your sort of reflections on the event? I mean, it's quite a memorable sort of thing,
yeah, it's like it's going to be a part of me for life now. Like, I went there and they released me as a professional boxer finally. But it was also good to be on with Daniel Dubois and Tommy Fury with big names and big people, and they have big expectations for them. So it was good for me, because if they put me in there, they also have big expectations for me also.
I'm sure they do. Now, I was talking to your lovely mother at the event. We went outside for a little chat, and well, our other little habit, which we've got, which meant we got along perfectly. And she said to me, but she asked you in the morning or when you got there if you were at all sort of overwhelmed by it, or you were finding the occasion, the magnitude of the occasion getting to you at all. And she said, but you said no, you felt you were born to this.
Yeah, it was
and you felt you were a complete natural at it. Explain a little bit about that.
Well, like I used to be a shy kid. I used to, like, someone say hello, I wouldn't really, like, I would laugh and like trying to swerve the question. But like the last couple of years, I've sort of come out of my shell. Like I've grown to be a mature person and a mature adult. We're trying to be anyway. And with the cameras and that, I feel it's just like second nature. Where I've been boxing for so long, and I knew it was going to happen eventually, I've just programmed myself just to be aware of it and just getting better at it.
When you say about your shyness and that, what brought you out in a way? Was it the fact that you knew you had this kind of God-given talent, and obviously part of the package has got to be expressing yourself and communicating?
Yeah, like as such, but also being around a lot of people in the boxing gym. You see a lot of new faces. You see a couple of like oddballs and a couple of nice people, and you learn how to just put it all together and just express yourself. And when you start expressing yourself, you get better and better at it, and then you start sort of coming to your own. Yeah,
and also I suppose with it being a boxing gym, you also learn about treating everyone the same.
Yeah, you treat everyone with respect.
Like you say, whether it's an oddball, if you like, or whether it's a world champion.
You know? They're all the same. They're all climbing in for the ropes, and they're all the same respect. You'll give everyone their dues. But obviously, I'm not taking anything away from them. But world champions are world champions. They are unbelievable.
Now, with your mum saying, but you were sort of born to the big occasions. Ahead of it, or night before on the way there, was there any sort of visualization going on where you sort of visualized how you were going to deal with different requests, different questions, things like that?
Sort of, yeah. I was just telling myself just be calm, relax, because where I have a little stammer, see, it sort of like gets a little bit to me, but I just deep breath in, everything's relaxed, and I just take it the same way as when I get into a fight. I just calm nerves, take everything as it comes, and just face it head.
Your mum did say about that stammer. I mean, like in the interviews I've done with you, it never shown itself. And I watched most of your stuff, and I think there was only one little point in there where I think you had a little hesitation, you know. But overall, it was like A+, wasn't it?
It was alright. Yeah, it was all good.
So you really should have no fears about this side of things moving forward.
No, it's never really been a fear of mine. I'm used to the cameras. Obviously, when people coming into gyms, video and sparring, and when having a chat with you, some people might have it on camera. Where I was little, I used to like do a lot of like this, and it's just second nature, to be honest.
What was evident from certainly a couple of interviews I saw, plus seeing you together, is the rapport that's already there, the chemistry between yourself and Frank.
Yeah, it's just
you got you at 18, him in his older years, shall we say, being polite, Frank. You know, but there is a chemistry between you, isn't there? Yeah,
but I think it's a bit like, how can I explain it? It's like a click. Do you know when something just goes so well together, like a bacon sandwich, you have ketchup on it.
Yeah.
It just works so great. It's just a similar way to that. It's just a great connection there, and I can put my trust in him, and he can put his trust in me. I think that's what we proper got together.
Did you feel that straight away when you first went up the office?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I knew he was the man for me. Definitely.
I mean, I think you were also aware beforehand, is like what really, like he said in his own words, what really floats Frank's boat is bringing youngsters
through,
making them a success, seeing them buy houses and winning titles and basically setting themselves up for life. He says that's what gives him a kick in this sport. He's done everything, so
he's done everything.
He can pick and choose.
He's
what
had
he
Mike
wants
Tyson,
to do.
Prince Nazim.
What he likes to do, he can pick, and that's it now.
But he hasn't had me yet.
No.
And I'm going to show you what I can do.
Yeah. When you had the talks, I mean, what sort of? I mean, it's probably too early to ask, really, but was there any sort of talk about plans and what sort of structure they're going to put into you in the first year?
First year, I was going to take it steady where I'm a bit younger than everyone else. Just got to build myself like physically, man strength, and obviously get my head into the program. But no, we're going to take it steady with a few fights. See after we go there. If I excel, then definitely I'm going to excel. But I'm going to start chipping away faster than the average.
I bet you never wish time away so much as you are the time before his next birthday, are you?
Got 5 months left. It's just torture, to be honest with you.
Well, you've got to sort of stay on it and use the time sensibly, but it's difficult, isn't it?
I'm itching to get in there really, because times my birthday do come around, and when I do fight, I'll be like nearly 3 years and 2 months of not even having a fight.
Wow. Yeah, that's incredible, and I do feel for you a little bit coming up, because you're in a gym where you're going to have 4 fighters out.
That's what I mean. Everyone's getting out.
That's probably going to be a little bit hard for you, isn't it?
It's hard, but it's making me push more and more and more, because where they're getting the fights and they're getting the exposure and they're getting the name out there, it makes me want to do a little bit better than they are and keep striving to be a better person.
And also, I suppose, you get to witness what it's like, the build-up to a professional fight, because I'm sure you'll go along with Wayne and you'll see any workouts, press conferences, weigh-ins, what they do on the day of the fight, how much time they got to kill, because it's different, because in the amateur days it's fight,
consistently
fight,
weigh in, fight, weigh in, fight. There's no breaks.
You'll notice they got a lot of time on their hands, and you've got to sort of, and basically they can't do much because you've got the weigh-ins, haven't you? And
especially like with the 6-week camps, 8-week camps, you can see them gradually build into it. You can see where their weight's cut in, and you can definitely see that like the body's changing, the mindset changes, where it's like happy jokey into fight mode, and just waiting to just get in there.
Whereas you said to me earlier on, you want to build up in weight, don't you?
Yeah, I want to get a bit bigger.
I mean, how are you thinking about going about that? Because in the old days, your dad would tell you, they used to say about drinking stout and Guinness.
Yeah, Guinness, just put all everything. No, I've got to focus on just getting nice clean food into me, but plenty of it. So that's really about it.
So you mentioned about your last fight, just finally. I mean, what was your last fight? What competition was that in?
Last fight was in the junior OBAs. I won in the quarters, heading into the semis, and everything just got cancelled over COVID. Just in 2 days, just boom, cut straight off. Yeah. It was gutted, really.
So now you've announced officially that your amateur career is done with. What would you say your sort of your highlight of that period has been? Because you crammed so much into a space of time.
I've got to say the greatest feeling was always standing on the podium and listening to your national anthem. That is the topper. So always when you get there, you put your hand on your heart and your national anthem's going. It just always gets me every time.
Representing your country. Seeing the flag being hoisted.
Hoisted up,
And you did that, obviously, was it 217, 218?
218, and 219 also.
Yeah. And they would be the highlights of your career, would they?
Yeah, definitely.
What would be your favourite fight, though? What fight did you come out and think, well, that was a proper tear-up, or I really excelled?
A fight, I boxed a Russian. He had 116 fights, 110. It was in my second European, and it was in the semis, so it was scary. It was like because I thought I'd meet him in the finals, but the way the draw worked, I had to beat him in the semis to get into the gold situation. So basically, I got in there. I thought, I've got to do him. It's got to happen. But he was tall. He was 6 foot at the time, and for 50 kilo, a 6 foot person, and he's only young also. So I thought, look here, he's going to jab me head off. I'm going to try and get around him. But no, I stuck to a game plan, and I made it work for me. And I outpointed him 5-0 to nothing.
In your generations, who did you find to be the real tough guys? Because, I mean, you mentioned the Russians there, but people talk about the Cubans, the Uzbeks, trying to think.
Azerbaijan.
Ukrainians.
Ukraine, yeah.
Which ones did you find with the sort of bogeymen, if you like?
The most Azerbaijan, when they get a little bit older, that they excel. They get right into their man strength. But without an doubt, the Russians are consistently the toppers, 100% from 12 all the way to seniors in the Olympics. They without fail they're always there. They like the day they fight, they also spar. They have a full training camp the day they're fighting, and every single day they train. It's like the army pretty much. It's very regimented.
And just like I say, finally again, from when you started at say 11, 12, and you started going into these international competitions, which countries were the sort of first to enter boys which were starting to grow beards and needing to shave, even though they were 12, 13, 14?
It was stupid. It was like, say, Ukraine was a massive one. They used to have like hairs on their legs, and it was all sorts happening. You'd wake up, they'd have tattoos all over them. It was like these boys ain't like these. They're definitely lying with beards, but they're not like small. They're all deep chested, tall, broad shoulders. You know, like little skinny like whippers in there, just going in there.
And you're like a proper just normal teenager.
Yeah, it's a normal teenager. I still can't get a beard.
You don't want that. You spend your time with that. Royston, it's great to catch up with you. We'll do this regularly because we're building up to January. We want to sort of get behind you and see what you're up to.
Definitely.
It's going to be a big thing. So we'll look forward to seeing you soon.
And you, Rich. It's been a pleasure.